One greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I've got two stories to bring to you back to back. Thanks for joining me. My first source is KIRL7. This is pertaining to the woman who traveled across the country um, to meet a guy that she had met online. And unfortunately, she went on a hike with him, as a police officer, and she ended up dead on this hike. And I'm going to bring you the said information. News 7. This is the source. One second. Thank you. A woman from the Boston area traveled to Arizona to meet a friend she had connected with on Instagram, but she never returned home. Angela Tremonte, 31, met the man online 2 months ago and went to Phoenix to meet him in person last week. On July 30th, she and the man, who was not named but is said to be an off duty Phoenix police officer, went out to hike a trail at the Camelback Mountain. They embarked on the Echo Canyon Trail around 10 a.m. Friday with no water, KPNX reported. The temperature at the time was about 104 degrees, WFXT reported. The pair eventually split up after she said she was not feeling well. Her companion told police. He said Tremonte asked him to continue on the hike and take photos for her social media page while she turned back to return to their starting point, according to KPNX. She was unsure of herself making it all the way to the top and wanted to turn around and make it back to the parking lot, Phoenix Fire Department Captain Rob McDade told KSAZ. They were supposed to meet at the car, but she was not there. Around 1 p.m., the man called the police when he couldn't find Tremonte, KPNX reported. 4 hours later, search crews found her body near her home off the trail. Officials believe she may have tried to get help and was overheated and possibly disoriented, KSAZ reported. The police department does not consider Tremonte's death to be suspicious. Officials believe she may have been dehydrated because of the heat, WFXT reported. She had no injuries, according to police, and she had her cell phone with her when she was found, KSAZ reported. Oh my goodness. But her friends back in Massachusetts have questions surrounding her death, WFXT reported. They said they didn't think it was a good idea for Tremonte to fly to Phoenix to meet someone she's been talking to online. He allowed her to walk down that mountain knowing she's never hiked before, but he still allowed him knowing the conditions and the heat and what that would do to a person, but you still allowed her to walk down that mountain alone, Serena Viola told WFXT. She wasn't the type of person to put herself in the situation without taking the necessary precautions, Evelyn Dowdery Teffrey said, according to KPNX. If you need verification for this information I just brought you, KIRO7 is the news. Got 32 viewing. Thank you so very much for joining me. This is a very odd story. Court TV is running a segment on this said information, and I don't want to get winded today to play that audio, but you can go into the queue to find the said segment pertaining to this woman's death. So she meets this guy, talked to him online, however it went, flew out, they're going on a hiking trail. This is how I feel about this situation. Yes, one, it's dangerous. Meeting people, period. Doesn't matter if they're in your town, cross town, doesn't matter. Going across country, yes, because now you're way out of the way. You're way out of the way. Anything can jump off, which something did jump off. Exactly what jumped off is the question. One, I'm not getting ready to fly. I'm going to speak for myself. So everybody's different. One, I'm not getting ready to go on a hike. Big girl ain't hiking nowhere. Doesn't matter to me if it's 60 degrees outside. I'm not hiking. I'm meeting you. I need to get to a hotel room so I can put up my feet, take a shower, relax, unwind. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what most people do when they fly across country. Because you got to think, from Boston to Arizona, that's a long way. And 9 times out of 10, she did not have probably a straight flight from Boston to Arizona. 9 times out of 10, she transferred somewhere in the middle. And who's to say how long the layover was? See, all those things come into question. So why would somebody want to travel that far to then jump off an airplane, lug their luggage through the airport, to then go damn hike? You just got through hiking when you left Boston, doing all that flying, walking through the airport. See, Queen keeps it real. Unwind first. But like I said, I'm not her. Two, why are you asking somebody you just met who just flew halfway across the country to go hiking and they just got off an airplane? That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Why didn't you let this child unwind first? So, see, we don't even know if she booked a room, if she was going to stay in his home, apartment, condo, however it works. What was the setup once she got there? Was she supposed to stay with him or she had her own room booked? Have not heard about that. Two, too far of a way to go to start hiking in 100-degree heat. Three, they're saying there was no water. Her friends say she was fit. So that leads me to think, why wouldn't she take water? He asked you or he told you before you got there, which is it? He asked her before she came, hey, we're going to take a hike when you get here. Or she got there and then he said, hey, let's go take a hike. Was she really wanting to take a hike? Once again, why didn't she have water? That's common sense. You're going to need water when you're outside in that type of extreme heat. And as they say, 100-degree heat is not a good idea to hike, walk, surf, nothing. It's not safe to sit in 100-degree heat, let alone walk across the street, stand at the mailbox talking to your neighbor. See where I'm going? So hiking means you're moving, means you're going to be perspiring. Too damn hot. Found in somebody's backyard. Commentary says it was fenced off. So was she outside of the fence or inside of the fence? How far was she from the person's door? Back door, patio. All these questions. He's been seen on TV, not wanting to give any comment by the news reporter. Of course not. Because you know how they're looking at you right now. Now we have to ask, is he still working as a police officer, such as going out in the field, desk duty, what? They're saying it's not suspicious, so he's probably still going to work doing his job. Now this commentary is saying she told him to go on to the hike, take some pictures for me to post to social media. Huh? If she was so flustered, hot, you think she's worrying about some pictures? I'm just saying. Hello, everybody. So think about this. Once again, what did I tell you about the web of deception? It's always the other person's version of what somebody else said. You want me to believe what you said a dead woman said to you about taking pictures. You go on ahead. I'm tired. Take some pictures for me, Pookie. I'll meet you back at the car. Yeah, okay. Well, guess what? There was no meetup at the car. There was no nothing at the car. Then we found out, allegedly, he's made it up, come back down, takes an Uber. That's message stuff I'm hearing about an Uber. And see, none of that makes no sense. And I'm not even about to even get into that. I'm not even about to get into that. I'm not even about to get into that. Because in the end, I don't know what he did on the trail. I don't know how far he hiked and didn't hike because I wasn't there. So I'm not getting ready to say he hiked all the way to the top and came back down. I don't know what happened. But allegedly, there is no foul play pertaining to the death of this woman. 31 years of age, flies all the way across the country to meet a man, to go hiking with a man on the same day, and then she ends up dead later on. What is wrong with this story? And allegedly, there is no foul play in her death. Very odd story. Angela Tremonte, 31. And it says she met him online 2 months ago and went to Phoenix to meet him in person last week. This is an older article from August 5th. And today's the 18th. So it's almost a 2-week old article. Something's wrong here. Very, very wrong. And whether he did something to her, didn't do something to her, it's principle. She should not have been on the hike. That's number one. Two, going on a hike without any water. So we have to also say she had to know better. Why not take water with you? So you don't really know. But you're talking about a dead person who can't speak. Tell us what exactly transpired in conversation. We do not know. Well, I know he didn't care about her because a decent person would have never asked you to go on a hike as soon as you got off a airplane. Now, it's a difference if you are somebody that's going to hike up to the Himalayas and you went there exactly for that reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you do have people who travel around the world hiking trails and mountains. That's what they do. Why they do it, I do not know. I don't get anything out of that. But anyway, I'm not them. That's the only type of person I can see jumping off an airplane. They planned a trip to hike. I don't think she planned a trip to Arizona to hike. Fit or not fit. I'm praying that her family gets to the bottom of whatever happened to her on this fateful day. But this just shows you that you have to be careful going places, doing things, meeting people. Because, like I said, right now, he is not a suspect in anything, and her death is appearing to be accidental, heat exhaustion. But it still looks bad that a person would fly halfway across the country to meet a stranger and end up dead at the end of the day. It looks bad. It sounds bad. It looks bad. And I think she should have told him. But see, we can't say what she said, didn't say, because she's dead. So one could say, well, she went along with it. She took the hike. She's liable for herself because she met this person, traveled all the way around the world, across the country rather, went on the hike. She didn't have to go on the hike. She didn't have to go on the hike. And so we always have to think about the person's decision that they made on that day. She went on that hike. And maybe we wouldn't have gone on a hike, but that is the decision that she made. And that's the crazy part, is that we don't know the circumstances, what the conversation was. He's now giving us versions from a dead woman. She said, take photos from me. I'll meet you back down at the car, blah, blah, blah. He gets back down to the car. She's not there. And allegedly he calls the police. And then they do an area search. And then they find her in the back of somebody's yard, which allegedly is fenced in. So that leads us to ask also, did she make it into the fence or was she outside of the fence? A very strange meetup. But as the commentary said on Court TV, 9 times out of 10, she was dehydrated from flying. You know, they don't give you big cups of tea, water, drink on an airplane. You're getting probably a can-sized soda, which I got that on both flights coming and going, a month ago, traveling from here to New Orleans. But did she drink a lot of water on the plane? Who's to say? We don't know. But naturally, you would need water once you touch down and you're walking in that type of heat. You're going to have water. Everything is going to rely on his version of that day. And as I state, so far, authorities are saying there is no foul play, no, I guess, visible signs of trauma to the body. So we will see what happens. We will see what her family does, how far this story will go. We will also see what happens with him. We also will see what skeletons come out of his closet, because you should know that anytime something felonious happens to a person, suspicious, whatever, something always comes out about the other party. And somebody on the channel has already commented on my community board that allegedly he was married. I do not know if that is truth or not. So I cannot say, but I got a feeling there are going to be some other people that's going to start chatting about this police officer and who he is. And allegedly, there's some story running around with an incident that happened with him a long time ago about not giving appropriate information during an incident that happened. I'd have to play the audio that to go back into that. But allegedly, he falsified some information during a police call or something that happened many moons ago. But I haven't heard that there are any other infractions on his record as of late. As of late. So that's the said information coming out of Arizona. If you need verification for the said information, log on to KIRO7. That's where I'm getting this information from. I was trying to find the latest I could find, and August 5th was the latest I could find pertaining to the death of Miss Angela. Oh man, this is Tremonte, 31. Well, Night Owl, how are you going to render aid if you continue on with the hike, sweetheart? He kept on going, allegedly. So you can't render something if you left. Allegedly, he left her, kept going on the trail. She allegedly turned around. So we don't even know what was said or done. We don't have no idea. That's just his version. Thank you all for joining me. Prayers to her family. The next story is the latest hot story out of Houston, Texas. And this is a very strange story as well. More graphic than this lady dying of heat exhaustion, allegedly. I'm going to read you the story, then I'm going to play you audio from the news. Click to Houston is the source. Mother dies after being shot at nearly 50 times while pulling into her garage, deputies say. An investigation is underway after a 31-year-old mother was shot to death in West Harris County. Wow, another 31-year-old woman. One's Italian and one's black. Can't make this stuff up. The shooting happened just before 6 a.m. Tuesday at a home on Apple Tree Hill Lane between Barker Cypress and Greenhouse Roads, authorities said. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the woman was pulling into her garage after getting off work from a gentleman's club in the Galleria area when one or more multiple people opened fire on her nearly 50 times. This is by Ed Gonzalez on Twitter. This was uploaded August 17. Update to homicide on Apple Tree Hill Lane. A female described as a black female, 31 years, pulled into the garage, exited her vehicle when an unknown suspect fired approximately 50 shots at her. The female was pronounced deceased on scene. Suspect fled in a dark-colored sedan. This is by Ed Gonzalez from the Harris County Sheriff's Office Advisory on Twitter. It says, if you live in the area, please check your surveillance cameras. Shooting occurred around 5:25 a.m. If you have any info, please call us at 713-274-9100 or at Crime Stop, HOU, 713-222-TIPS, which is 8477. The woman was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene, authorities said. Deputies said a suspect in a dark-colored sedan fled the scene. Investigators are working to get a search warrant for the residents. Once again, contact Crime Stoppers at 713-222-8477. So we have a 31-year-old African-American female exiting her vehicle parked in a garage. I don't know if the door was up, the door was down. Someone lied in wait, perhaps, because that's the only way I can shoot you and kill you is if I'm already there. Or I'm right on your tail, pulling up, driving by. She died at the scene, and they're alleging she was shot at 50 times. Why is someone shooting at this black woman? She's also a mother, so she leaves behind a child. She had a child probably about 20 years ago, 20 years of age. She's very young mother. So now a child is without a mother. What? Why? Whom? They. Why did someone follow this lady from a gentleman's club? They're stating she worked there. Why did they shoot her? What did she do at the club? Bartender, dancer. What was she? Doesn't matter. Does it have something to do with her death? Is her job the reason she got shot at 50 times and they didn't miss? Why would you shoot somebody so many times? Why did they follow her? Were they waiting on her? Is this a hit? Is this a boyfriend, husband issue, ex-lover, stalker? You did something, stole something, robbed somebody. What are we talking about here? These are all the variables pertaining to the death of this young lady. Nice looking African American female. Very, very strange story. Let me pull up another article with her name, because this one is not even giving her name. Hold on a minute. I have more breaking news to bring to you pertaining to Robert Kelly, Kenosha. God, I got so many stories to bring you out. It's not even enough time to bring all this information out to you. Hold on one second, because I got to give you her name if I can. It's not showing her name. What is the deal? Hold on. So I thought I had her name. 1 second. Thanks for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $DeGangie129 Cash App. Thank you so much. Okay, this is Houston Chronicle. There's a picture of her in this article if you want to go over to the Houston Chronicle. Felicia Duncan, 31, was shot to death at her Northwest Harris County home on Tuesday. Hold on 1 second. Oh, come on, don't start this now. Her name is Felicia Duncan, 31. 50 rounds rang out just before dawn Tuesday in the Northwest Harris County neighborhood. The jarring noise around 5 a.m. was unmistakable to some residents in the 18,000 block of Apple Tree Hill Lane near Katy as gunfire. Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies soon found 31-year-old Felicia Duncan, the mother of an 11-year-old boy, shot to death in her garage. The shooter in a dark-colored sedan caught Duncan as she returned home from a night working at Club Onyx, a Galleria area strip club, according to authorities. 50 shots wept Timothy Richard, the father of Duncan's son. The number of gunshots shocked him. Who would want to hurt her, he wondered. There's got to be something else behind this. The shooting was among 4 deaths that authorities in the Houston area rushed starting Monday night when Houston Police Department officers investigated a stabbing around 9 o'clock in the 8300 block of Willow Place Drive. Police say they believe Erica McDonald, 29, stabbed her mother to death and wounded another relative. The woman has since been charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 2 hours later in the county, a man shot and killed his sister's ex-boyfriend, Romance Daniels, during a fight at her apartment at 910 Cypress Station Drive. Investigators are considering that the shooting was self-defense. A Harris County grand jury will later determine whether the brother will face charges. Deputies rushed to another fatal shooting around 4:45 a.m. in the 11,000 block of Holly Hill Lane in Northwest Harris County after a woman said someone shot her son, Keith Long, 30, to death as he checked on their barking dogs. She found him at the front door and tried to save him. No suspects have been apprehended. The shooting on Apple Tree Hill Lane capped the deadly night. Richard called Duncan a real Southern girl from Louisiana. The two had known each other since high school in Rosenberg and were planning this week to buy back-to-school supplies for their child. Their son was not at home with Duncan at the time of the shooting, Richard said. It hasn't hit him yet, Richard said. He just told me that he has mixed emotions, right? I mean, he's a kid. Police said they believe the shooter opened fire on Duncan as she got out of her vehicle. She was struck multiple times and several shell casings were found near her body, authorities said. Investigators went door to door checking for possible surveillance footage of the incident, while Sheriff Ed Gonzalez also pleaded for residents to check the cameras. Duncan's death marks at least 84 homicides in unincorporated Harris County. Last year, 123 people were killed in what authorities deemed homicides. In Houston, police are investigating at least 280 homicides, more than triple the county's number. The deaths are a 30% increase from the 216 people killed at this point last year. Okay. Anna Bauman is the author of this article. If you need verification, Houston Chronicle. So we're talking about 84 homicides in unincorporated Harris County, 123 people killed last year. that are deemed homicides. Too many people. And now she's a part of this growing number of people dead. What up? 280 homicides in Houston. As this article was written, 280 people. And that's not counting all the people they just mentioned in this article that have died as of Monday night, and it's just Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Did the father live with her or not? Were they together? Were they dating? Because it states the child was not home. So we have to ask ourselves, has school started? Where was the child at 5 in the morning? Come on, Queen. Where was the child at? You mean to tell me early Monday morning at 5 a.m. her son was not there? So what we have to ask ourselves are the obvious questions. Did Felicia have custody of her child? Where was her child at 5 in the morning? Did she live there alone? Is that her house? Whose house is that? How many people stay in the house? Was she the target? Were they looking for somebody else alongside Miss Felicia? Was this a hit? Did somebody orchestrate this hit? Why 50 times? 50 times means I want you dead and I ain't gonna miss. I'm gonna make sure you don't get up. And she didn't. Was this a hit? And by whom? Why would somebody want a 31-year-old African-American female dead? What did she do to this person? What did she say to somebody? Is she a witness to a crime? Is she a part of a crime? Did she do something felonious to somebody and they wanted revenge? So they followed her home from the gentleman's club and or they were already there waiting on her. Come on, Queen. What's the 411? This is tragic. Because somebody wanted her dead and they got her dead. Like they said, are we looking at one suspect, two suspects? How many people are involved? Is she involved with somebody who did something to somebody else? Somebody robbed, somebody took something, stole something, coveted something. What? She's a witness. She's a party. She's a cohort. She's a conspirator. What happened? Why would somebody shoot at this 31-year-old woman in her garage? And they got her good because she obviously stepped out of the car. Lord have mercy on me. Just a second.
One-year-old black female in the garage of a residence, and she had been shot multiple times. She was deceased on the scene. There's multiple gunshot to the vehicle that she was in the garage. The only suspect information we have at this point is a dark colored vehicle pulled up, got out, and shot approximately 50 rounds at her. At this time, it's under investigation by our homicide division. Approximately 50 rounds.
So this woman didn't even get a chance to get out of her car.
She pulled into the garage. She was able to exit the vehicle, and she was found in the garage.
But you know, inside that, she lived there.
She lived there, but we don't know much else at this point. All that's under investigation. It appeared to be a dark colored sedan, and we were looking for more surveillance video in the neighborhood at this point. Yeah, that was how we determined it was a dark colored vehicle from one of the videos we have looked at. homicide's investigating that at this point. So we'll learn more as the day progresses.
Okay.
Attention. Do you have Medicare?
The same.
Did you know?
That's the said information. News 11 is the source if you need a source. I think it's KHOU News. Right now, they're not stating who all stayed in the house, who lived at the house, who owns the house. Just that she was able to exit the vehicle, and someone did get out of a dark colored sedan and shot at her at least 50 times. So as I state, were they already there waiting on her, or did they pull up, follow her? What is the 411? Why would someone kill a 31-year-old mother of one child? So now a child is left without a mother. I did bring you commentary in this article that the father spoke, and he is curious to why someone would do this to her. So as I state, the father of the child, was he currently dating the mother? Were they together, not together? What's the 411 on the relationship between she and the baby's father? Because you always have to look at people that a person was dating and or married to. Thanks for joining me. Yes, it does. Well, see, that's why you know it's something foul, because 50 times is just overkill. That's gangland style shooting. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for joining me, baby. Welcome. This is gangland style. This is what people do in drive-bys. I'm going to shoot a lot of times because I'm going to make sure don't nobody get up. And it don't matter if I'm looking for one or two or all. I'm going to make sure nobody gets up. And she didn't. I brought you two stories today. One pertaining to a beautiful girl from the Boston, Massachusetts area who traveled across country to meet a buffoon who wanted to take her on a hike. They went on a hike and she ended up dead behind somebody's backyard. What happened? And now we have a 31-year-old African-American female dead in her own garage, allegedly her house, I don't know, with 50 rounds, at least 50 rounds, shot at her, and they did not miss. And she's left behind an 11-year-old child. So I'm assuming the father will take custody of the said child. I don't even know if the father has custody. And that is something I'm curious about. What is the dynamic, or what was the dynamic between this 31-year-old woman and the baby daddy? Were they dating, not dating? Is this a hit from him? Another guy she's messing with? What? Who had custody of the child? So you have to ask all those questions because the child wasn't home and Monday was a school day. We on Wednesday and it's a school day. If school started in Houston, I can't say because I don't live out there. But you get where I'm going. If indeed it was school's in session in Houston, then where was the child at and why wasn't he with his mother? Come on, Queen. I ask all the necessary questions. I don't leave a stone unturned because you have to use your common sense. Something's wrong with this story. And the 50 rounds is what's wrong with the story. And when you look at this video that I just played, is credited YouTube video. Please scroll out to the queue. You can go find this interview with this female lady speaking. It's a very nice looking neighborhood. Don't get it twisted now. So somebody start talking that old ratchet junk. We're talking about 2-level homes. Nice looking neighborhood. So that's what really threw me off when I first saw the neighborhood. I thought, wait a minute. Wait. This don't look like, average urban neighborhood. So what's the demographics in the neighborhood? Mixed, all black? What we talking about? Nonetheless, in the end, it doesn't matter You're talking about a woman dead, very young, had a child. She's not gone. There's a boy child without a mama. Oh, somebody says she was quiet. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Well, Kim, you know, a lot of folks ain't woke. Most folks ain't woke. Most folks ain't woke when their eyes open. Shut up, Queen. But anyway, this lady tells you in this commentary that that's how they knew that it was a dark color sedan. It's because they got the footage from somebody's camera. And that's a dangerous situation too, because now, Miss Police Lady, you've let the public know that somebody in the neighborhood got a visual of the car and that person is still on the run, the loose. Not good. Because now the killers know somebody on that street got the surveillance camera footage. And God forbid somebody was up at 5 a.m. looking out the good window, taking a walk with the dog. You see where I'm going with that, right? Who the hell wants to be a witness to that and have to go to court? Lord have mercy. Because let me tell you, if you don't understand where I'm going with this commentary, if they would shoot at her 50 times, what you think they'll do to you if they're free on bond or whatsoever? Okay. And God forbid if they were apprehended and didn't get a bond, they could go send their henchmen to make sure you keep your mouth silent and you don't testify in court. Stay woke. See, you don't know people. I'm telling you all that. Everybody's not your friend. And every person that you meet won't be your friend. And there's always somebody lying in the cut, watching, lurking, wanting to harm you. You don't know that. And then sometimes you do know that. So we have to ask ourselves, what was going on in this lady's life for her to end up dead in her garage? Did she get tangled up with the wrong people? Was she doing something illegal? Is she a witness to a crime? Is she the witness to something that went down? Has somebody been bothering her, stalking her? Is this a boyfriend, baby daddy issue? Is this a lover issue? Is this a stalking issue? And that's the gist of the story. Why would somebody want this lady dead? Or is this a case of mistaken identity? Somebody got it mixed up. Somebody sending a message. Maybe she ain't really the target, but I'm going to hurt her to show you I'm meaning business. Which is it? Have mercy is all I can say. But there's something terribly wrong with this story. You see, you don't never know when the reaper's gonna come, because he doesn't need your permission to knock at your door. And you can bet your bottom dollar when she left that gentleman's club, she did not know that'd be her last ride to her house. Her last ride, period. Can you imagine? Because I've often thought about that when people are found dead, period. What was their last thought? What were they doing that day? What were they thinking about that day? Very sick. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. This is a very tragic story deriving out of Houston, Texas. I do find it baffling when they made a comment about Harris County being unincorporated. So that leads me to believe this is the same type of craziness with police getting to the scene in time of a crime in a timely fashion. When they say unincorporated means that doesn't sound good. It leads me to think when something jumps off, you're going to have a problem getting ambulance, fire trucks, and the police to get to your said residence or scene in case you need aid, such as with the issue with Cash Gurnon. Allegedly, that area where he was staying at the Shiraz house, that was unincorporated or far off into the county. However it goes, just don't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. And I'm sure the neighbors are petrified because now they're sitting here wondering, what the hell's going on over there across the street? Or do they know what's been going on? See, you never know. Okay, thank you, Fine. So that leads me to believe, hey, what was really going on in that house? So you got to think about that too before I check out of here. What was going on in that house? You see, you can weigh this story 1,000 ways. Who is Felicia? What has Miss Felicia been doing? Who has she been tangled up with? Has she been doing things wrong, illegal? Was something wrong, illegal going on in that house she lived in? Who all lives in that house? Is that her house? Why wasn't her child there on that morning? Was school in session? Who has custody of the child? See, I ask all the pertinent questions. Was she dating the baby daddy? On, off? Was she dating somebody else? Was somebody mad at her? Mad at somebody she fools with? Somebody she knows? She a witness to a crime? Was she involved in a crime? Did she owe somebody money? Is this about the company she keeps? What was going on in that house? Are we going to later hear somebody spin a web about that house? That something was going on felonious in that house. Come on, Quay. Because somebody gonna tell him. Hello, sweet Sativa. How you doing, baby? Somebody is gonna tell him. Because see, that's the thing about a crime. You will have some people who will start whispering and talking about the neighborhood, the house, the inhabitants of the house, what happened at the strip club where she worked, because I'm assuming it's a strip club. It's a gentleman's club. It's a gentleman's club. What was going on at the gentleman's club? Did she have a stalker? What did she exactly do at the gentleman's club? Are we talking about a dancer or a barmaid? Which is it? Stay woke. Yeah, somebody was real mad. And 50 rounds leads me to believe it's way more than just a stalker situation. This is way deeper than even a stalker situation. I would think a stalker would just wait on you and just walk right up to you, shoot you one time and walk off and keep on going. This looks like it may be some other stuff was going on with Miss Felicia. And it's not to throw any shade or be disrespectful, but you have to use common sense. 50 rounds, near 50, 46, 42, it's all the same. It don't take all that to kill nobody. Because if she's the only one exiting the car, you don't need to shoot 40-something rounds. You didn't care anyway. So you could have just walked up to her and just shot her point blank and got on back in your car. Yes, I'm going to ask the who, the what, the where, the why. I'm not like most people. I'm not the news. So I don't have to just tell you such and such got shot on 15th Street. Now back to you, Bob. This is a commentary channel. I give you commentary. I ask the questions that the news is not supposed to ask because they're not allowed to give their personal opinion in a story. They're just supposed to give you the information of what happened, and then they hand the cue over to somebody else. That's some serious stuff going on out there in Houston. And as I brought you commentary in that same article, they had several deaths on that day. So something was in the water out there in Houston. I don't know. Maybe y'all been drinking that Lake Pontchartrain water from Louisiana and you lost your minds out there in Houston. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. Life is short already. You don't have no guarantee what's going to be in the cards for you. So going out here doing frivolous things to people, getting yourself wrapped up in drama. It ain't worth it. Like I said, I don't know this lady. I don't know what she had going on. I don't know nothing about the people she was hanging with, the company she kept. But this is jacked up. This is bad, man, because now a child is without his mama. And the neighbors are probably fearful. You know they are, because they're wondering what the hell was going on for somebody to come in there and shoot her house up like that, shoot her up like that. And they aren't stupid. They know, oh, that was intentional. Whoever did it, they meant that. They meant that. They did that. And they didn't miss. That's why they shot so many times. They want to make sure you're not going to get up, Queen. And like I said, for all we know, it ain't even about her. It could be about whoever else was in that house, who stayed in that house, whoever she was fooling with, dealing with. She got tangled up with some mess. And they said, well, we're going to send a message. I'm going to get your girl. See, you don't know. You don't know. Her name's not Felicia, baby. I didn't say her name was Felicia. Felicia with a V. Valeesha. Felicia is her name. Now don't y'all start. This is bad, man. This is really bad. It's really, really bad. That's my sad information. As most of you know, it's going down in Brooklyn, New York. Opening statements today. State of New York versus Robert Sylvester Kelly. I will be bringing you the tea later on pertaining to what said in the courtroom against Robert Kelly. Well, V, don't say that on the live, honey, because people are watching the chat. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that on the live, please. Because there's people watching, and if you're using your government name, we don't want nothing bad to happen to you. That's why I tell you all, don't use your government name on social media. If you want to use it on your Facebook account, that's your business. But don't use it on YouTube. So if you're using your government name in YouTube, change it. Go in your Google settings, change your name. Because these people will find you and they'll go over to your inbox and harass you and stalk you. They'll find you over at IG if you're using your government name there. That's how sick these people are. So you have to be very careful about what you post in a comment on YouTube. I didn't know it was this sick out here that people would get upset and follow you and track you down into your mailbox over at Facebook, but they've done it. And I know they'll do it because I've seen it happen to many people who are commenters on YT. Well, I'm just saying, if you're using that government name, they still can track the name, guys. Come on now. Just don't use it. Don't use your name. Anyway, today was opening statements for the trial of R. Kelly. I will bring you said information pertaining to what was said in the courtroom. I've already been gathering my information to bring to you all later this evening. It may be an upload and not a live, but I will bring you commentary pertaining to what's going on with Robert Sylvester Kelly and any other news that I get pertaining to other cases that I've been talking about. I will bring you the said information. Yes, the internet is the devil's playground. Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. So I will bring you that said information. I want to thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Once again, if you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. That is that information coming out of Arizona. 31-year-old woman dies on a hiking trail found in the backyard of someone's home. And Miss Felicia has been gunned down in Houston. Why was she gunned down? Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much. If you want to keep up with anything going on with the Queen, march over to my community board. Post your comments there pertaining to the article itself. Please do not post anything that has nothing to do with the article. I thank you very much. God bless all of you. It's hump day in America. 2 more days before the weekend. Stay safe. See something, say something. Chat with Carl. Missing out of East Tennessee. Mindy Lowe. Owns a halfway house, make her stand account. Tashina Kyle, 27, African-American female, missing out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Where is she? Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something about both of these two people missing. Hello, Don D. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. You all stay safe out there. I will bring you more commentary. I got to do some verification on something that went down here in East Tennessee, and I got to see if it's related to one of the stories I talk about on my channel. And if it's something that I think it is, I'll be back shortly with another commentary. You all have a nice day. God bless all of you. Stay safe. This is Everyday Shenanigans.